So, Coach Lynn, how is the first 2.5 weeks of spring gone?
It's gone by fast. It's been good though. The guys have been competing. The guys have been getting better every day, every week, and it's been fun to watch them go out there and do their thing.
Any kind of noticeable differences you've seen just being out here compared to NFL practices that you've been watching recently?
The speed of practice. My first day out here, I think we had a 9-minute period. We ran 24 plays. Fastest 24 plays I've ever seen, but that's been the biggest difference, just the speed of practice.
Any other just kind of transitioning from, you know, the NFL game to collegiate ball that you're kind of experiencing so far, how the game is different, you know, anything different in your approach there?
Yeah, you know, ways offenses attack defenses are a little different with the tempo, with the wide hashes, different formations, different splits. So when you look at coverages in the NFL, there's some things that you have to tweak down here in college just because of the spacing. But the coaching staff has helped me out a lot with that. You know, we have a very experienced staff. Coach Norwood, Ken Norton Jr., Malloy, and Cody, all those guys have a ton of experience and they've been a great help so far.
What's been kind of your practice plan? Like, what are you paying attention to the most, or are you just trying to kind of rove and be with everybody during individuals?
Biggest thing is I'm paying attention to just the overall, just how it looks big picture wise. You know, like how is our operation? Are we getting aligned? Are we communicating? Do guys know what they're doing? And then I'm just trying to evaluate each individual. You know, I don't really pay attention to what group's out there or who's out there with who. I just want to see, is that person executing what we're asking them to do? And is that person getting better and better each week?
Going back to the transition a little bit, obviously the schedule's a little bit different, dealing with recruiting on top of it. How's that side of it going?
It's going good. You know, we'll be on the road next month, so that'll be my first time on the road. So far, it's really just been talking to guys on the phone here or there, FaceTimes, and then we have a lot of guys that come here to watch practice, and getting a chance to spend time with them before practice and after practice has been great.
Is it a little bit more just time management then from a coaching perspective?
It is. I think you have to be more organized because it is kind of like a second job almost. You can't just be all ball, but it's been going great so far.
Few big changes in terms of personnel in the defensive backfield from last year. Kenny Churchwell was, playing almost linebacker last year. Now he's playing a lot of deep safety.
Yeah.
AJ is now playing nickel, and I think DJ Justice has also moved over to nickel. What was that something that you played a role in terms of making those position switches for those guys, and how do you think they're developing there?
The biggest thing for our DBs is we want versatility. You know, we want guys to be able to do different things. So you have a guy like Church and Alex; they can play multiple spots. Like we could put Alex at safety tomorrow, all practice, and he can go out there and execute the defense. We could put Church at nickel tomorrow in practice; he can go out there and execute everything. So we just wanted to have one of those guys to have a starting spot, but those guys are going to move around and play in different positions.
We were talking to Alex and Kenny just a little bit about the new kind of concepts that you were bringing, you know, slowly introducing, blending. They mentioned, you know, they played a lot of zone match last year, and so far, you know, starting to blend a little bit more spot drops, you know, into the secondary. You know, what's kind of the reasoning behind that? What are you trying to do, you know, there?
I think from a coverage standpoint, you want to be complementary. You want your coverages to complement each other. So I think you need a good mix of pattern match zone. You need some spot drop zones. You need some man coverage, and you need the ability to make all those three things look the same. So that's kind of what we're trying to do right now.
Anything there that kind of speaks to, you know, a little bit of your philosophy that, you know, especially might have took kind of last year, you know, with the Ravens, DB's coach, you know.
I think the more you can make the quarterback and offenses think post-snap, the better. So we've tried to emphasize disguising, you know, alignments, just a lot of pre-snap indicators that can give us tips. But the more you can make the quarterback think post-snap, the better, I think.
One guy who stood out just to all of us kind of watching is Femi at linebacker. What have you seen out of him, especially for a guy like you who's coming in to this, you know, new program for the first time?
Well, when I first got here, you would never know that he just got here. You know, he fit in immediately. He has great practice habits. Practices hard. You look at him in drills, he does everything the way it's supposed to be done. Even in walkthroughs, he's always in a perfect stance, communicates loud. You know, I think he's been doing a great job so far.
Just from, you know, the hiring standpoint, you know, it was late February when that really started gaining steam. How quickly did that all come together, and were you weighing, staying in the NFL, or were there other offers to be a coordinator elsewhere?
It happened pretty quickly. I can't remember exactly how fast, but I want to say, after I accepted the job, I was out here in 2 days. So it happened fast. I did go back and forth if I wanted to stay or not. I think Baltimore is a special place. Coach Harbaugh is a Hall of Fame coach. Great in culture there, great staff. I don't think that's a place you just leave to leave. But once I came here in person and got a chance to see what Chip was doing here and got a chance to spend time with the coaching staff and meet some of the players, I felt like this was just a special place.
Didn't UCLA secondary at times, especially in the Pac-12, kind of struggled a little bit last year. Did you sense that as part of kind of that hiring process, that your knowledge of, just the secondary and especially kind of specialization there kind of a little bit helped you, in that process?
I think so. I know we talked a lot of coverage stuff, but at the end of the day, we have to stop the pass, we have to stop the run, we have to be better at red zone, be better in third down. So it's a lot of things, not just the pass defense, but that's been an emphasis this spring. Not giving up big plays and just trying to disguise our coverages the best we can.
Who do you see kind of, benefiting a little bit more from that approach? Again, Kenny and Alex are talking a lot about if they do their job right, going to see a lot of, cover sacks, hopefully a lot of that from the defensive linemen.
Hopefully everybody. I think we're going to give a chance to let guys do different things, play different spots. We're going to let linebackers do different things. We have some outside backers and defensive ends that are going to be doing things they haven't done. So I hope it gives everyone a chance to go out there and perform well.
And just from some of the comments Chip and guys like Darius have made, they've mentioned your unique approach, fresh ideas. Can you kind of peel back the curtain a little bit as far as what you bring that maybe they didn't have before? Like, I don't know if they relayed that to you specifically about things that are just different for them this year.
I can't answer that specifically. I don't know exactly what they had before. I'm just trying to me and the rest of the staff, we're just trying to keep everyone on the same page the best we can and just trying to get better and better every day.
Chip mentioned, I think he used the Chipism, like we're conscious to not throw the baby out with the bathwater when introducing new schemes. How much have you seen, have you tried to kind of learn UCLA's defensive principles from last year and continue to implement that while also kind of slowly blending in the ideas that you're bringing?
So when I first got here, that was the first thing I did, was just watch a lot of games from this past year, to kind of see, all right, how are Pac-12 offenses attacking us, and really to see what was UCLA good at last year and what did they struggle with, because they did do a lot of good things. You have a lot of good guys on this staff, so I wanted to keep our strengths and find ways to make our strengths better, and then find ways to correct our weaknesses.
What were a couple of just areas that you saw in film that you were like immediately, I have some ideas about what I can do here?
Situationally, I think we need to get better at red zone and third down. Those are the two things that stick out.
Got it.
Obviously, it's only been 2 weeks, but when this does get rolling and you do get more of your fingerprints on it, what does your defensive philosophy look like when things are going as you want them to?
We want guys playing fast. We want guys playing physical. We want them playing sound. But like I was saying, from a coverage standpoint, even up front, we want everything to complement each other.
What's it been like just to kind of go up against, Chip obviously has a lot of offensive ideas, and just what has it been like to kind of go up against and coach that?
It's been fun. The first week of practice was all scripted, but once we have these call-up periods, it's been fun because, it's a challenge for me because, again, they go so fast. And we practice faster in practice than we do in the game, so it's great for us to be able to get the calls out fast, to get the substitutions out fast, and you really just have to stay ahead because, again, like, he goes fast. But it's been great. It's been a great challenge, and they've done a really good job keeping us on our heels.
We were just kind of watching, a couple plays that Kyle Ford was making. Looked like against, pretty solid coverage. I mean, just from your, from the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
How special is he as a guy that, who can cover pretty well?
He's made some pretty impressive plays this spring. Excited to see what he's going to do in the fall.
Thanks, Tim, Coach.
Thanks,
All right.
Thank you,
guys. Thanks.
Good to see you again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys, too.